Well, welcome back, everyone. This is Series 2 of our historical lecture series where we're capturing interviews of people that were important to the preservation of the Point Prim Lighthouse Society and the lighthouse. As you can see, I'm not David Wheel. David Wheel is unavailable this series of lectures, so you're stuck with me, Vic Dowse. I'm the current co-chair of the Point Prim Lighthouse Society. And so what we're getting everyone to do is to tell their stories of how they became involved in the lighthouse and their current role in the lighthouse. And in the lighthouse and Lighthouse Society, I'll use them back and forth. And we're all members of the Lighthouse Society. It's all about supporting the lighthouse and the grounds for the public. So how did I get involved in the Point Prim Lighthouse Society? Well, I think we've got to go all the way back. So like I said before, my name is Vic Dowse, and my progenitor is William Dowse, and he was the land agent for Lord Selkirk, and that would be the sixth Lord Selkirk, James Dunbar. He's not the Lord Selkirk that settled all the people here in Belfast. He's his son. The fifth Earl of Selkirk, who settled the Belfast area, he died quite young, and his son took over the state in 1830, I believe, and then William Dowse became his agent 1833 till William's death in 1864. So a lot of the goings on in the Belfast area went through William Dowse. So William Dowse has always had lots to do with the Belfast area, and then there's the famous Belfast riots. It was a political riot that William Dowse was involved in, or was actually the person they were trying to kill. So I have a last name that's in island history books, and if you put in Point Prim Lighthouse at all on the internet, it's going to come up about the story about William Dowse bringing the government officials out here for picnics and looking at the area, and that he donated the land for the Point Prim Lighthouse from the Lord Selkirk estate to the government, where he's also it's called MPP at the time, Member of Provincial Parliament. So he's also the member for the area. He's in charge of the land in the area. He's also a member of the Prince Edward Island Steam Company. So it's in his own shipping interest too to get a lighthouse built here too. So that's how my interest in the Point Prim Lighthouse came to be, through my family name. So I'll go back that David Wheel I have a history degree from University of Prince Edward Island, and David Wheel, Professor Wheel, was a mentor of mine, along with Father Bolger. So when you're in Father Bolger's class, he gets you to do a paper on an island topic. So I did William Dowse to help to put the picture back together of my family history, like a genealogy project. So during that project, and 2 semesters of Father B for that, I outlined a lot of William Dowse's history. So then, after that, when you have the relatives come home, Point Prim is on the Dowse Historical Family Trail. So we would take everybody down here and talk about it, but also it's a beautiful site, and always has been a beautiful site. So we're happy to do that. So I became involved in the Point Prim Lighthouse Society in 2013 when it came to my attention that they were preparing for the 150th Confederation celebrations, and I wanted to kind of look at their history. I have a history degree, and I know quite a bit about the lighthouse through my studies of William Dowse and his involvement in the site, so I thought I might have something to offer. So I got a hold of Doreen Eustace, and we corresponded by email a little bit, and then she invited me to come to a couple of the Point Prim Lighthouse Society meetings. And then I got to the point they had hired a young man to do some pamphlet and historical stuff as well, and I was kind of tweaking and reviewing that stuff, and it was they and now it's we did some lovely poster boards down on the shore, and I reviewed some of those and fact checked some of that stuff. So that's how I became involved in the society. So I would have become a member in 2014, and I think I quickly became the vice chair of the society, Peter Southward being the chair at the time. And I became a vice chair because most of the other roles were already filled, secretary, treasurer, and stuff like that. But I became vice chair because I just come out of being the president of the Autism Society of Prince Edward Island for a decade or so. And I was also vice president of Autism Society Canada for many years too. So I had administrative skills and used to running boards and doing stuff like that. So the people were happy that I could come along and bring some of that skill set to the board, plus my historical knowledge and familiar knowledge of the site. But it's a wonderful board, and everybody has such a wonderful skill set. We're very fortunate. So my current role on the Point Prim Lighthouse Society is I'm actually the co-chair now. We updated, I think 2019 I became the chairman, and Kathy Karolsi was the co-chair. But we modernized in 2019, I believe it was 2019. It's hard with the COVID stuff to remember the years anymore, but I believe it was 2019 annual general meeting. We modernized our governance to, instead of having a chair and a chair and a vice chair, we went to 2 co-chairs. And that's kind of modern governance. We both have the same powers to sign stuff and do stuff. So we're equals instead of someone being president or vice president or co and vice chair. So that's been done. And then the big part of these were very active years, and I've come in at the boon years of when we were finishing up the divestiture. We got ownership of the property in 2016. Doreen Hustis, our treasurer, she's a wonderful lady at finding government funding, so we were able to increase the seawall down there, get proper parking for the bus tours, get a modernized restoration of the Keeper's Cottage to be our administrative center, and bathrooms and a gift shop, and it's an artisan gift shop. So we've come a long way in the last, well, it's getting to be close to 10 years now, but it's wonderful. The site now is so well maintained that it must be as beautiful as it ever was, even in the original state. It's so well maintained. We've replaced the windows, we fixed the shingling. Oh, and a couple of years ago, we even replaced all the metal stanchions around the light at the top of it. So they were like 175 years old, all that metal. So we got that done last year during a COVID project. So it was wonderful to have that done. All that metal was replaced and repainted. And again, the goal of the Point Prim Lighthouse Society is a historical preservation society. We're to maintain the lighthouse and the grounds for the public in perpetuity. And most of the people on the society have a family connection. Most of the people, they're descendants of keepers. Me, I'm descendant of William Doust, the land agent, the MP for the area. So we all have a strong family tie to why we're working to provide this. We're also, we're a modern group too. We want the tourism, we want the traffic in the neighborhood for Prince Edward Island, for eastern Prince Edward Island. But we also have to temper that with preservation. We make sure, and I believe we do a much better job of that than was done for many, many years. We keep the property up. It's beautiful. The building has been wonderfully maintained. I wouldn't say modernized, but it's maintained and restored to its former greatness, if not greater. It's stunning down there, and I'm very proud of what gets done down there on a daily basis. And then the historical lectures and tours that people take, and people enjoy that kind of stuff. So it's been such a great experience. And the board, everyone is committed, again, because they're bringing their own historical perspective and family ties to it. The people care and they're invested in it. So it's just been a wonderful experience. So now we'll carry on with interviewing some other people for today. And thank you so much for your time.